in England. I've been 6 months in India. And yeah, with such a high carb diet, rice and chapatis and puris and a fair amount of vegetables, but cooked in quite a lot of oil. And yeah, I have put on a few pounds, but just a few. And normally I think I would have put on a stone and a half or more, but because last summer, my 6 months in England, I was almost exclusively carnivore and really enjoyed it. I think my metabolism was pretty much fixed by that carnivore diet. And I mean, 6 months of high carb, my God, it's not ideal. Next year, I will try and get a place with cooking facilities, and you can at least buy eggs there. So try and do something like the ketogenic diet with eggs, which is what some of my friends were doing. But anyway, what I'm saying about the carnivore diet is it fixes things. And it seems to have fixed my metabolism pretty much completely. Well, very nearly. Very nearly. I have put on a bit. A few pounds. Haven't got on the scales. Luckily, the battery is gone in my scales. So, the sun is coming through and going in and out of the clouds. Hope you don't mind. So yeah, I'm proposing that when you get to the age of 50 or 60, depending on your genes and your lifestyle and how you've been eating up until now, you might not be able to get the protein from a vegetarian diet. Even Volta Longo, the longevity professor at UCL, I believe it is, he's doing trials, and even he says that he thinks that older people do need to get their nourishment from meat. And that's what I found. And at the end of the 6 months, my hair was falling out. And I'm sure it was lack of protein. So now that I'm back here and I can eat my carnivore diet, I am hoping that the hair loss has already decreased. I've only been home a few weeks, and I've been eating. I actually didn't go immediately on carnivore. So I'm hoping that you will be able to go immediately on carnivore. It will depend a lot on your taste buds, and that depends a lot on your intestinal flora. If you've been eating carbs and sugar and bad oils, those awful vegetable oils and seed oils that are so high in omega-6, and if you've been eating processed food, your intestinal flora is going to be sending messages to the brain to have these foods, because these are what you have been feeding your bacteria, and the bacteria that have survived are the ones that survive on that kind of food. The standard American diet, which most Western countries and even the Eastern countries are beginning to adopt. So your taste buds may not be, oh yes, just steaks and burgers. I even allowed myself some sausages to phase back into carnivore. The sausages do have breadcrumbs in them, so I've been having a little bit of carbs, but I've stopped the sausages now and I'm just eating steaks. Now, if you like meat and you love steaks, I would say preferably rare or medium rare, because you get so much nutrition from meat and it's so easily absorbed. And if you've got any metabolism problems, which you probably will have if you're overweight, then meat is absolutely ideal. Now, you might say, well, if I just ate meat, it would be so expensive. You know, I pay just a few pennies for my pasta and my bread and all the rest of it. But it really isn't that expensive and it really fills you up. And the great thing is, if you've been dieting for years and years and coming on and off diets, you've probably put on weight because of the diets, particularly that low fat. That was such bad news when we were all told to eat low fat. And then they found that it wasn't the fat at all that was causing all the heart disease, it was the smoking. And that's when, 2007, in the UK, you couldn't smoke in public places. So fat is good fats. If you don't think you can go straight to meat, then the good fats are avocados, olive oil, avocado oil, and oily fish, if you like fish. In fact, fish is perfectly fine on the carnivore diet. Let me tell you what I consider the carnivore diet to be. All meat, all unprocessed meat, single ingredient meat, all fish, eggs. Eggs are wonderful and they're cheap. If you can afford free range, do free range beef, free range eggs. But in the UK we have lamb, and I will buy my lamb in supermarket. In fact, it's Asda, which is Walmart in America. And these lamb steaks, there's 2 in the pack, and you get 2 for £8. That's £2 a steak, and one of those steaks will usually fill you up. So if you've been dieting for a long time, you can now eat as much as you like, as long as it is meat. Now, I usually get my meat free range, but this is a big steak, a beef steak with a fair amount of fat on it. Not quite enough, but a fair amount. And it's only £2.70. Don't know what that is in dollars. I'm sorry, I must get my exchange rates up. But if you've been dieting for years and years and years, and you're just like hungry all the time, the great thing about the carnivore diet is you can eat as much as you like of beef, lamb, chicken, pork, fish, all shellfish, all big fish. Try and avoid the tuna. It's got a lot of mercury in it. Smaller fish like sardines, they're so cheap and they're so nutritious. So fish, eggs, meat, that includes bacon, because the nitrates are absolutely minimal and they will not do you any harm. So beef, bacon, eggs, and butter. Yeah, you can have butter. I mean, quite a lot of dairy is allowed on the carnivore diet. Not the milk, because it's too high in lactose, but the butter is just the milk fats. So you can have as much butter, and if you like butter, you can even spread it on your steaks. So beef, butter, eggs, bacon, fish, dairy. Now I use an extra mature cheese, which I like very much, because it's got less lactose in it. It's been matured and virtually all the lactose is gone. Also, if you have heard of the bulletproof coffee, you can put some heavy cream, a little bit of heavy cream in your coffee. Some people put butter in their coffee or ghee in their coffee or coconut oil. Now that's where I divert from the carnivore diet. I do have coconut oil and I do put it in coffee. And then there's MCT oil, which has been derived from coconut oil. So you can go a little bit off the pure carnivore. But if you're having any trouble phasing over to just eating steaks and burgers, and later on as the intestinal flora changes your taste buds, you're going to be eating what we call nose to tail. You're going to be eating some organ meat. Kidneys with bacon are really delicious, and they're absolutely packed with vitamins and minerals. So you'll be getting high nutrition, eat as much as you like. You really will find a difference in your skin, your hair, and your overall well-being. In fact, I cured my gastro and GERD. It's called GERD. It's acid reflux. That got cured on the carnivore. So carnivore cures a lot of things, and it is brilliant for weight loss. You just can eat as much as you like and lose weight. Now, that's got to be a win-win. So I hope you are going to try the carnivore diet, particularly if you're over 50 and you're not really getting enough nutrition from your vegetables. Then try carnivore. A little bit of vegetables on the side if you want to phase gradually into it. Yeah, side dish of vegetables to begin with would be okay. But you don't need them. They're just to help you phase over. So I hope this has been useful, and do subscribe or like or comment. I really love the comments because it gives me an idea of what you want to hear about. So I will be eating carnivore, and I'll be talking more about carnivore. And you can also listen to Ken Berry. He's live every Monday night answering people's questions. And he's a doctor, and he's been carnivore for, I think, coming up 3 years. So, until the next video, goodbye.